Hello everyone, it's Borders Dude here with a video review. I am taking a look today at Craftsman Toys Steel Drill. This is a new company and this is their very first release, and it is of course their take on a legend scale, Technobot Nosecone. The presentation on the box is fantastic, a nice good first presentation. I love the artwork of the robot and alt mode, which is repeated at the top for the alt mode and at the bottom for the robot mode. At the sides they both just have the name of the company, and at the back the artwork is repeated again, but you do get the sort of standard warning signs that are quite commonplace on third-party figures. In terms of a first impression from a first-time company, I think they've nailed it. Let's get this box open and take a look at the figure inside. Now we have Steel Drill out of the packaging. Let's see how he measures up height-wise. Taking a look there, we're looking at about 10 to 11 centimetres to the shoulders. About right for a legend scaled figure. Of course New Age is always that little bit smaller, but this definitely hits the mark. We'll take a look at the paint apps and just the sculpting in general on the figure. Bringing in a bit closer, we can take a look at the head sculpt first of all. I love how they've done this as a G1 Scramble City head sculpt pretty much faithfully. You've got the grilling at each side of the head with that lovely crown in the middle. The blue paint used for the eyes really does make them pop out, and it complements the face, which is using that peach colour. Down the middle of the chest we've got that clear plastic, which is of course used for the driver cockpit in the alt mode. At the sides we have some nice silver accents, a darker silver used just underneath. When we come down to the crotch, that peach colour has been used in the middle with two silver accents that have been used at the side. Taking a look at the feet, we have some silver paint on the knees, down the middle of each leg, and at the side of the leg as well. We can see some nice sculpted detail here, and also at the side of the arms that will be more prevalent in the alt mode. But generally there is some nice sculpting going on overall on the figure, with the last bit of paint being used for the drill. Everything else is done in just the plastic colour moulding, and it's no bad thing. Again, this is a smaller figure and it is their first release, so there's maybe still more they will do, or if they stick to that level of paint apps. Either way, it doesn't matter. I think they've nailed it quite well here with Nosecone. Time to take a look at Steel Drill's articulation. The head is on a full 360 ball joint. The shoulder can go up. There is a sliding joint on the shoulder as well. This is for transformation. When we look at the bicep, you do get full 360 degree of motion. The elbow is on a double hinge for transformation, and the fist can also do a full 360 degree of motion. You do get a full 360 degree waist swivel. It will go all the way around. If we lift up the hip skirts of the figure, this will allow us the full degree of articulation on the legs that is available to us. Can go all the way back, all the way forward, and all the way out. So yes, you do have the Van Damme. Reasonable bend at the knee on the figure. And lastly, the toes are on a ball joint. You don't get an ankle tilt on this figure, but really you don't need it, in all honesty. I think there's enough articulation here for you to get some figure photography shots done nicely. We'll take a look at size comparisons to give you an idea of the figure's scale. Here he is with the de facto deluxe scale Siege Sideswipe. We will then bring in Iron Factory's Leo Kaiser Leader. They scale about right together. Lastly, I'm going to bring in New Age Ultra Magnus. He obviously scales a bit bigger because he is in the armour suit, and it pains me to say that, but there we are. That gives you an idea of scale of the figure, especially when it comes to legend size. Time to take a look at Steel Drill's alt mode, which is of course the futuristic drill, giving us those Thunderbird-esque vibes. They've homaged the G1 alt mode very well. Again, this is where this clear plastic cockpit now comes more into play. I really like it, and I hope the other figures that they do release come with this clear plastic visor for the cockpits, respectively, but I am a sucker for clear plastic. The drill, of course, can turn. We see more of that tread detail now. Everything is combined in the alt mode. I do not like this bit. This is about one of the only negative things I have on the alt mode, is that gap there. I don't know if it's me not being able to transform it right, or I've missed a step, but that really does annoy me. At the back here we have two thrusters which you can adjust individually, which they didn't need to do for a figure this size, but they have, and I like it very much. To give him a more Generation 1 toy accurate look, we are provided with two blasters. We've got a port and we've got a peg just in here, and all we do is we pop it in. You hear that satisfying click, just like that. Same again with this one, it just pops in to the little port here, and there we go. It gives us a more Generation 1 toy look. We do, of course, get an individual blaster here for the robot mode, which can sort of store at the side here. It sits loosely, absolutely it does. You know, there's no way where for it to store that I could see on the instructions, so that is an option there for you. There is another accessory you get, but I'm keeping that for when we get the full combined mode, so that'll be very exciting. We will, of course, do a size comparison in alt mode. Here he is with our de facto deluxe sideswipe. We have Iron Factory Warpath in there with him. They do look very good together, it has to be said, and they scale quite nicely in alt mode. The Iron Factory figures do tend to scale slightly different depending on the figure that you pick up, but overall, this scales very nice with Legends. Transformer Deluxes and upwards, not so much. My final thoughts on Craftsman Toys Steel Drill. As a first release, they've definitely done wonders here. The box art, the presentation is excellent. The materials, the quality of the figure is nice. The paint apps are great where they have been used. Maybe there could have been more paint apps. That's, the beauty is in the eye of the beholder on that one. The transformation, most importantly, is fun. It's not unfair, it's not fiddly, which can be a problem with Legends figures. In this case, no, this has been very well engineered, and it's a fun figure to flip back and forward. It's definitely a recommendation from me. Thank you very much for watching this video, and if you did like the video, I know everyone says this, but if you could hit that notification bell, and please do subscribe to the channel for more reviews. I'm working on a few at the moment. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will be back soon with another.